Welcome back to Wire with Nolan RECC. Today's episode features the Fall Member Advisory Council meeting.
I'm not going to say a lot. I thought I would just give you all a very brief update on how your cooperative is performing. This year, we have had a very solid year in terms of system reliability, save a few major event days that were due to weather or some sort of unforeseen equipment failure or wildlife intrusion. But by and large, we are having a year that is on par with the high bar and expectation that we have set for ourselves. So I'm pleased with our performance in that regard. Financially, we are solvent. This has been pretty much a break-even year up to this point. As you all know, our organization is not designed to turn a big profit. Even if we have one, we give it back to you all. But we do have to have enough cash flow on a regular basis to make sure that we can keep up with our ongoing operating and administrative needs, which we have been able to do. I am pleased to announce that we will, later this year, be retiring capital credits for the 7th straight year, right at $1 million this year. We'll be retiring part of years 1997 and 2024. So that'll get our total total disbursement over the last 7 years to over $22 million. So that's something that we're pretty proud of and glad that we are able to do and give back. And I think it speaks to the financial strength of the cooperative and that we are doing the best that we can from a management standpoint and an employee standpoint to hold the line for you all and keep your costs in check. I'll remind you that NOLEN itself has not had a rate increase since 2017. So that's over 8 years now. East Kentucky Power, who is our generation and transmission cooperative, that is where we buy all of our wholesale power from. They have a significant amount of coal and natural gas generation across the state of Kentucky, and they are also part of the PJM marketplace, which gives them access to a lot of economical generation resources all throughout the mid-Atlantic and Midwest part of our country. So it's one of the things that has kept NOLEN and East Kentucky so competitive from a pricing standpoint when compared to the rest of the country. We're blessed here in Kentucky that our electricity is on the cheap side compared to most of the country. And here at NOLEN specifically, we've been able to do a good job with the help of East Kentucky to be able to keep that in a healthy position for you all. Now, with that being said, East Kentucky has done some very bold and smart things, in my opinion, over the last couple of years. And they are making a significant investment in capital infrastructure and building out new generation assets that are going to be capital intensive on the front end, but in the long run are going to pay reliability dividends for all of us by keeping us with reliable resources when we need them the most. And also, they will be economically viable so that when they do have excess capacity, they will be able to sell it in the PJM marketplace. So you'll get a return on that investment. In order to be able to make those capital improvements, they are going to have a rate case or a rate increase at some point next summer. So that the way that that works, it's called a pass-through increase. So on your NOLEN bill, the amount per unit of electricity that you pay will go up. NOLEN is not keeping any of that. That's all going to go straight back through to East Kentucky. But that is the reason why, is because they are making those significant capital improvements that I'm very confident in the long run are going to pay significant dividends for all of us. So just want to make sure that you understood how that worked. If you see me after the meeting and you have any questions about that, I'll be happy to speak in any level of detail about it that you would like to. But be prepared for that. But it's coming from a good place, and I am excited and feel very confident in the things that are going on at East Kentucky, and very excited and confident about the things that are going on at NOLEN RECC. Any questions? Okay, we're going to move on then. I am going to ask that Mallory Wofzig, who is the Kentucky Electric Cooperative's Manager of Cooperative Outreach, come on up here, and she's going to talk with you all about the Kentucky Youth Tour and what a good experience that is for some of the young people in our communities.
Oh, all right. Okay, thank you, Greg. Again, my name is Mallory Wofzig. I am with Kentucky Electric Cooperatives, and I am the Manager of Cooperative Outreach. Kentucky Electric Cooperatives is the statewide association serving all 26 electric co-ops across Kentucky. That includes 24 local distribution co-ops, such as Nolan RECC, and 2 generation and transmission cooperatives. Kentucky Electric Cooperatives provides support, advocacy, and resources to help strengthen our co-ops. We also produce Kentucky Living Magazine and KentuckyLiving.com in partnership with your local co-op to create a community of people who take pride in thinking of themselves as Kentuckians and informed electric co-op members in order to improve their quality of life. Kentucky Living Magazine circulates we have over 1 million readers every month. Kentucky Living highlights the co-op members, energy and safety resources, tourism, agriculture, recipes, gardening, and more. We do a few annual campaigns through Kentucky Living Magazine, which include the photo contest, the Best in Kentucky Awards, and Beautify the Bluegrass. Every year, co-op members submit their photos in Kentucky Living's photo contest for a chance to win cash and to have their photo featured in Kentucky Living Magazine. The Best of Kentucky Awards, which were announced in October and are featured in your September edition of Kentucky Living Magazine, celebrates the people, places, hometown favorites, and events across Kentucky. This year, you may see some familiar faces. Recognized as a Best in Kentucky finalist from Hodgenville in the category of Historic Attraction is the Abraham Lincoln Birthplace Historical National Park. In the category of Best Museum, a finalist, the Lincoln Museum. For Place for Live Music, Joel Ray's Lincoln Jamboree. And for Breakfast Place, Kentucky's finest family-style restaurant. In Sonora, for Best Food Truck, Matilda's Dogs and More. Vibe Coffee won first place in Best Coffee Shop, and Minton's Orchard and Farm took home first in agro-tourism. Thank you very much. We have some bread from Minton's as well. So now I'm going to talk about grassroots and advocacy. As a statewide association, we advocate on behalf of the co-ops we serve and their members. Through the statewide association and the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, NRECA, we've launched initiatives so that co-op members like yourself can become an advocate for your co-op. Through Co-ops Vote, which is a nonpartisan initiative that aims to increase voter participation and engagement in rural communities. Voices for Cooperative Power, or VCP, is a network of Americans advocating for rural electric co-ops across the country. VCP highlights the vital role co-ops play as job creators, economic drivers, and essential community members. RuralPowerKY.com serves as an educational and communications hub for members of electric co-ops to learn about and advocate for co-op issues. Kentucky's Rural Electric Cooperative Caucus, formed in 2003 and launched in 2024, was formed to give legislators an up-close look at their local co-ops and develop a better understanding of how the electric grid functions. Today, Kentucky's Rural Electric Cooperative Caucus is the largest caucus in Kentucky's legislature with 102 members. Electric U is an annual event that offers legislators a deep dive into how the electric power is made and transmitted to homes and businesses across Kentucky. So why does it matter? Grassroots efforts build stronger communities. Advocacy protects co-op members' interest. Kentucky Living educates, engages, and celebrates our members. Together, we ensure co-ops continue to power rural Kentucky. All right, now to talk a little bit about the youth tour and youth programs from the Statewide Association and NRECA. Co-ops are investing in your future leaders. Since 1972, co-ops have sent high school juniors to Frankfort and Washington, D.C. to meet with elected leaders, explore co-op issues, and make friends from across the state. The Washington Youth Tour gives students the opportunity to see their government in action and learn about their nation's history. This year, 61 students attended the Washington Youth Tour, a week-long, all-expense paid trip to Washington, D.C. We visited Arlington Cemetery, where students took part in a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. We toured Thomas Jefferson's Monticello. We visited the 9/11 Memorial at the Pentagon. We toured the D.C. memorials and monuments that we read about in books, in our history books. We visited the Smithsonian museums all across the National Mall. For the first time, delegates toured the White House, with some students even catching a glimpse of President Trump as he oversaw the installation of a new flagpole on the lawn. At the Capitol, students met with Senator Rand Paul and engaged in conversations about the Farm Bill, artificial intelligence, and the role Congress plays in shaping national policy. One student is chosen from the Washington Youth Tour delegation to represent Kentucky on the NRECA Youth Leadership Council. Composed of one representative from each state, the purpose of the Youth Leadership Council is to build leadership and public speaking skills and to enhance the delegates' knowledge of the energy industry and the cooperative form of business. This year's YLC student spoke to over 300 co-op leaders at the statewide annual meeting last month. In his remarks, he shared how the youth tour gave him the confidence to pursue his goals without judgment. This year, the statewide office launched Co-op Champions, a continuation of the Washington Youth Tour program, providing delegates with ongoing opportunities to engage with co-op leaders. It encourages civic involvement and advocacy beyond the youth tour experience. This month, 14 of our youth tour delegates will be hosting voter registration drives on National Voter Registration Day. Next month, they'll be participating in projects with their co-op and celebrating National Co-op Month. So you may see them at some of the events around town. Together, these programs inspire young leaders to serve their communities and strengthen the future of rural Kentucky. Now, I'm pleased to introduce the 2025 Nolan RECC Youth Tour delegates. As I call your name, please come to the stage. Cyrus Evans from LaRue County High School, Maya Reddick, Central Hardin High School, Karsten Ingalls, Faith Homeschool Co-op, Isabel Huber, and John Murphy, both homeschooled as well. They are not able to be with us today. But please give a round of applause for our 2025 Nolan RECC. All right, Carson's going to come to the stage and say a few words about his experience on the youth tour.
Like she said, my name is Karsten Ingalls. My name is Karsten Ingalls, and I had the opportunity to go on the Washington Youth Tour this summer. So before I went, I was really excited for the trip. At the same time, I had a busy summer, a lot of trips planned, so I was kind of tucked this away in my mind as just another one of those trips I'm going to go on. But this was really, truly an incredible opportunity. Mallory already talked about all the things we did, going to Arlington, visiting the Smithsonian Institute, touring the White House, visiting the Capitol. all those things were amazing, but more than that, it was truly a learning experience. For someone, I've always enjoyed learning about the government, politics. I visited Frankfurt multiple times, got to talk to my own representative and some of the other representatives, and I really connected with that and was able to feel part of that. But whenever I learned about the federal government and and Congress, it always had this feeling of being kind of out there, this abstract idea I couldn't really connect with, didn't really understand it, and couldn't really affect it at all. But this trip really changed that. It really altered my perspective. I got to meet one-on-one with some of the interns who were coming into staff at DC. I got to talk with actual aides for the congressmen themselves, and I even got to listen to Rand Paul speak. And it really showed me the inner workings of our federal government and how it works and how I can actually be a part of that. And it really took something that was foreign to me and made it tangible and actually attainable and something that maybe I could do one day. But more than this, the trip also taught me how to make a difference in my own community right now. Through the scholarship program that Mallory just talked about, the NRACA Co-op Champions, I've had the opportunity to go to the Kentucky Lexington Honor Flight and meet with the veterans there. That was amazing. And plan a voter registration drive and just really just connect with, especially this co-op, just connect with you guys in a way that I wouldn't have been able without this trip. But more than all this, it's really the things that I'm going to be taking away from this trip is really the friendships that I've made. Right? She said there are 61 people from 26 different co-ops all across Kentucky. I made great friends in 6 days with people I'd never seen before who lived hundreds of miles, well, not hundreds of miles, far away from me. And really in friendships and in connections that it's going to last a long time. And in connections with people and just being able to meet with people and just connect with them. And that's really important because really that's what this is right here. That's what co-ops are. Just people meeting together and working together and connecting with each other. And I just want to say thanks to you guys for actually giving me the opportunity to go on this trip. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Mallory, great job, young man. Thank you for getting up and speaking today. Really appreciate it. And thanks to all of you all who participated in the youth tour. Glad you got to do it. Glad we're able to do it. But when we hear experiences like the ones that you all had, it makes it all worth it. Clearly it was meaningful to you, and that's what that program is all about. Okay, with that being said, our next speakers are going to come up in just a second. One thing that I just thought of, I actually had written down, and I forgot to mention it earlier, but it's kind of timely because we had a little situation with a certain topic over the course of the last week. From time to time, there will be entities that are selling solar panel or solar-related technologies that will purport to be involved with or represent Nolan RECC. Perhaps coming around your neighborhood, going door to door. They have no affiliation with Nolan RECC. Some of these entities are prone to using some, let's just say, creative marketing tactics, okay? So if they tell you all that they are involved with Nolan, are partnering with Nolan, or are working with Nolan, that is a significant red flag that, you know, for you to be aware of and realize maybe this is not quite as legitimate of an outfit as they are representing themselves to be. So with that being said, if any of you are interested in any solar technologies or solar solutions, which Nolan RECC finds value in, we have some literature that is available to you, and we have some people who work at Nolan who are very well versed in the nature of that business and can explain to you in a great level of detail how a certain solar installation will impact your electric bill and give you all of the operational and financial information you need on the front end to make a well-informed decision about whether a solar solution may be best for you. So if that is something that you are considering or you think you might consider in the future, when someone walks door to door and tries to sell you something, that's probably not the time to make that decision. Call us, talk to us first, and we can make sure you understand the mechanics of the product that you might be investing in. Okay? All right. So next, we have Mayor of E-Town, Jeff Gregory, and Jana Clark. They are going to come up and talk about some of the things going on here in our community in E-Town and our new outdoor event venue. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate the opportunity to get up here and address this crowd and these fine people. I will tell you I'm a little flustered now because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get my money back from the guy that sold me solar panels at my house yesterday. That's a joke. But anyway, I want to cover a few quick things, and then I am going to turn it over to Jana, who is the director of our tourism bureau, and she's going to talk to you all a little bit about our flagship project in the city of Elizabethtown, which is our outdoor concert venue. And we're really excited about it. We think it's going to be a great addition to our community. Hopefully it'll have a similar effect of what we feel like our sports park has had over the years, and she's going to explain a little bit of that to you. I do want to talk a little bit about the relationship that city government and county government and state government has here in this region, multiple counties, multiple cities. The reason that we're successful here, and I'm on the board of directors for the Kentucky League of Cities on their executive board, and I have cities from Paducah to Pikeville, or from Paducah to Pikeville come and speak to me all the time. How do y'all do what you do in Hardin County and in that region? How are y'all as successful as you are? And I tell them that we have great cooperation. It doesn't matter what political party you're affiliated with. It doesn't matter where you came from, if you were born and raised there, if you moved in 10 years ago. Everybody is rowing the boat in the same direction, and that goes to our friends Keith Tall and Patsy Whitehead for the county. It goes Mayor Duval and Radcliffe, Mayor Ogden and Vine Grove, our West Point mayor. It's just really great situation that we have right now with our city council and the fiscal court, and we're all just rowing the boat in the same direction. Our state legislators, everybody understands the importance of getting along and try to find solutions that are going to be better for our people. And so I'm really thrilled to be working in that. But what I will tell you, especially since this is an Nolan RECC meeting, it goes, that same thing applies to our utilities. And so since I've worked several years now with Greg and the board of directors here at Nolan and the leadership that they provide, and it's just a great working relationship. And anytime I call Greg and I need something, the answer is always yes, or we'll figure out a way to do it. And that's much appreciated when you're in my position and you make those calls and you have the ability to sit down and accomplish things together and do trade-offs and work to the benefit of the people that you're representing. So I want to thank them for that. I will turn it over to Jana now. Many of you all have heard about the outdoor concert venue that we're building off of Commerce Drive. We're really excited about that. She's going to talk to you a little bit about some of the statistics that we're hoping to achieve and the reason that we're building it and what we hope to attract to Elizabethtown. But it is a project that we have worked on, honestly, for 5 or 6 years. We probably started dreaming about it 6 years ago, put it into action about 4.5 years ago. It takes a lot of planning. It's a $42 million construction project that we think is really going to pay dividends like we've seen our sports park pay dividends. It's just in a different way, and it's going to complement what we're already doing out there. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jana real quick and let her talk a little bit about what we have going on, and then any questions that you all have, we'll be glad to talk about or answer, and that goes for anything. It doesn't have to be about the outdoor concert venue. I'm happy to answer any questions I can about the city of Elizabethtown.
I probably don't even need it.
Hello?
Like, can we be completely honest that I probably don't even need it? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Because I'm a loud mouth. That's why. So I am so excited to be here. And E-Town isn't my hometown, but I tell people that I got here as soon as I could. I had to find an E-Town boy to marry who would move me here and let me raise my family here. And I'm super, super excited to be the organization that represents marketing E-Town to the masses, to encourage people to come visit us, to come here to eat, to sleep, to play ball, to hopefully in early 2027 attend an amazing concert or get an experience at our new outdoor. So, speaking of partnership, which I know Nolan RECC is the best at partnerships and cooperative, our partnership with the city and
their ability to, I think I'm just as loud if I can, and their ability to see the vision that we have, to find ways to invest our tourism tax dollars back in our community to attract visitors to E-Town. People tell me sometimes locally, I never see your advertisements. And I'm like, well, good, because it would be wasted money on you. I'm talking to people that are in Columbus or Chicago or the Nashville area. So it is interesting to me. It's a very fun time to be in the tourism industry. And this project is just so special to us. And the mayor's right. We have talked about this for years. Jeff, why don't you tell them first where it is?
let's start.
Okay, so this is the easiest way to tell you. If you go out 62 east and you're going to I-65 there to get off the 94 exit, if you will turn right on Commerce Drive, and for those of you that aren't familiar with road names, between Wendy's and Burger King, that's Commerce Drive. And if you'll take that back and go through the first roundabout, past Texas Roadhouse, past Skaggs RV, and keep on moving, you'll come up to a road called Sutton Lane, and then you're gonna see this, what used to be woods, open, wide open, 40-acre, 45-acre location. That's where we're gonna put our outdoor concert venue. But one of the things about Commerce Drive is right there at Sutton Lane, it dead ends with pavement. And so the city is gonna spend about $6 million, and we're gonna extend that road all the way to Springfield Road. So we have ingress, egress on both sides of the outdoor concert venue. So when we have big concerts out there, if we have a 10,000 person concert, we're gonna have two different ways that we can get in and out of there. And I don't wanna get the cart before the horse, but we're working with the State Highway Department, with Kentucky Transportation Cabinet District 4 to try to extend New Glendale Road all the way down to Commerce Drive, which will bring you out there on the south side of E-Town, which would really benefit the south side of Elizabethtown as well. So it's a big project. We were gonna cut Commerce Drive through anyway, and so when we started looking around town to find a location that we thought made a lot of sense, we felt like right there behind Buffalo Lake on that Commerce Drive site made a lot of sense for multiple reasons. Number one, it's easy access to I-65. It's got a beautiful backdrop with Buffalo Lake, a great setting. And then, of course, you've got all those hotels and you've got all of those restaurants that really make a lot of sense to be located close to. And so that's how we ended up landing on that spot. And so we worked out a deal with the Keith family, with Roy Keith Jr. and his family, John Keith and Hodgenville. And they were just fabulous to work with. And they saw our vision and they appreciated what we wanted to do on property that they had owned for a long time. And we were able to work a deal and be able to buy that property at a really, really reasonable price thanks to them. And then we were off and running.
Okay, so what will it be? What will be there? So this is the very fun part, because I'm not in the concert production business. I am not in the music business, but I'm completely fascinated to rely on those that are experts in this field. So we were super lucky to, through a competitive process, have a team of designers that have worked on amazing facilities throughout the country. Ascend Amphitheater in Nashville, Red Rocks in Colorado, SoFi Stadium, Manhattan Music Hall. I mean, we are so fortunate that we take our processes and we take our projects super seriously. And the mayor says, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. And we at Tourism are super appreciative of that. So it is an outdoor venue. It is a stage house that has Buffalo Lake as the backdrop and two buildings on either side. There will be 4,000 seats in the bowl, chairs, that can be configured in a variety of ways, whatever manifest, whatever event we're having. And then we have a huge lawn area that will accommodate an additional 6,000 people. Now, not every concert, I know you've heard me say this 26 million times, not every event will be 10,000 people. There's no way. But at the end of the day, we can accommodate that many people, and we can have all the events in between that we want. We can scale this venue depending on the type of event we have, whether it's performing arts, a comedian, a graduation ceremony. We're even talking about a real sheet of ice for an ice skating rink in the winter. It is a super, super flexible design that can serve as a community asset and a tourism attraction, which is what we love the most when it comes to quality of life and tourism. And I've said it before, what's good for your city, what's good for your destination is good for tourism. And what's good for the people that live where you promote, it's good for everyone. And so quality of life is one of our pillars, and we are excited about being able to have this venue here to offer it to others. Why 10,000 seats? If you go not far from us, there are 5,000 seats in different places. There are 2,500 in Louisville, there's 5,000 in Bardstown, there's 5,000 in Beaver Dam. There is no reason for us to build something that can hold 5,000 people. Why would we do that? We found out through our research and meeting with those that are officials in the industry, you've got to hit 10 to be able to get that next level of performing artist. We're also located in a great spot. We technically, honestly, sometimes we run out of hotel rooms on Friday and Saturday nights, but we have capacity on Thursdays and Sundays. And that's when your touring acts are on their way to Indianapolis, on their way to Cincinnati, on their way home to Nashville, on their way to Atlanta. So there's a market there that we really hope to meet, kind of like we did our analysis to meet a need in the youth team sports market. This is just a different type of attraction to attract a different type of visitor. You want to talk about parking? Oh, good.
He's better at this one.
So, if you all read social media, which I'm sure many of you all do, as soon as we make an announcement, specifically this one, we get beat up from every direction. People recommend things to us and ask us about things that they think we never thought of. And I don't want to sound pompous or arrogant, but just about everything they bring up, we've talked about 11 times. So we understand what the situation is. We understand what some of our possible problems may be, and one of them that people like to bring up is parking. So we're going to have plenty of parking in a lot of different ways. So there will be plenty of on-site parking for vehicles that come in there. We like to call the 10,000 seat concerts, Easter Sunday concerts. We're not going to have those every single week. There'll be a mad rush probably 4 or 5 times a year for those concerts. But as Janet spoke of a second ago, a lot of the different productions that we have at that outdoor concert venue will be of smaller size, where all of the parking that we have on site will be adequate to be able to host those. There are other options too. We're going to be working with the hotels that are already located in Elizabethtown, and we're going to try to get them to invest in a trolley service, or if you would, a shuttle service. And we're going to do a little bit of that ourselves. There's also some other off-site parking on Commerce Drive that we're going to work on to try to accommodate some extra cars. But one of the really exciting things, at least I think it is, for those that want to participate, hopefully there will be a lot of people that park in downtown Elizabethtown. And Jana and Tourism have just gotten done, almost done,
Almost.
putting in a trail from downtown Elizabethtown there by the railroad tracks. It goes all the way out past Buffalo Lake and then turns and comes back up towards Commerce Drive. If you've been out there, you've seen that beautiful bridge that they put in that I'm sure every senior from now on is going to be taking senior pictures on, because it's a beautiful setting out there. But we're hoping a lot of people will park downtown, pregame if you will, downtown, and then walk out to the concert venue, especially when there's good weather. We think that'll really help us with parking as well. So it is something that we've looked at. We understand that we have to have enough places out there for everybody, but we've got different ways of making that happen. So we're really excited about that as well.
So included with that is opportunity for ride share. I hear a lot of people in our community talk about, why don't we have more Ubers? Why don't we have Lyft? All of those things are based on demand. Putting this type of attraction in our community immediately increases the demand for rideshare. So that is definitely an opportunity for us in the future. And speaking of the future, as much as I wish that this thing could be built in 6 months, it's just not gonna happen. We're talking about spring 2027. If you go out to that site right now, it's dirt. They cleared trees, and we can talk about trees a little bit too, because people always wonder about the trees. Because we took out shrub trees, we identified 400, I have the numbers. Do you remember the numbers? 422 trees were identified, tagged individually. 291 of them were not indigenous and were brush trees, whatever they're called, scrub trees. And so we took those out and we saved the other 191-ish. And then we're gonna plant 474 more on the site after we're done. And keep in mind that those trees aren't really that old out there. But our thought and our design is very embracive of nature. It sits on the lake, a lot of woods, a lot of grass, and so we want to be sure that we put a lot of work into the landscaping and the trees that are on this property. So we have gotten some questions about that. So dirt is moving right now. Bid packages have been sent out. A lot of purchasing and planning and supply chain and all of the things that are happening will happen over the next 15, 16 months. So hopefully, close to this time next year, we're making some announcements about what we're gonna be called, who's gonna come, when does the season start, how can you buy your corporate box, all the stuff. But we gotta work on getting the infrastructure built first. What else?
Oh, sorry.
So the last thing that I would mention, and then we'll take questions if you all have any, the funding for the outdoor concert venue. A lot of people I will also see online, Blake, I know you can appreciate this. They'll say, why in the world are they spending $42 million on an outdoor concert venue when there's potholes to be filled, and we need new sidewalks, and we need new street lights, and we need all these different things. But what they don't understand is over 80% of that $42 million is going to be paid for with tourism tax dollars. So when I say tourism tax dollars, by statute, they have to be used on tourism expenses. You can't use that money to fix potholes, or build sidewalks, or blacktop streets, or put street lights in, or whatever else that you can think of, put utilities in, none of that. It's all got to be for utility purposes by statute. That's the 2% restaurant tax. When we collect that, 95% of that money goes to tourism and has to be spent on tourism-related expenses. So a lot of times people get confused or frustrated or angry about how we're spending that money, but that's how we have to spend it. And I like to tell them anyway, we're handling all those other things that they complain about too, but they don't always believe me. But we're really excited about it. We're definitely glad to answer any questions that you may have. I may let Mrs. Prophet pick the very first act that performs out there. Who would you pick, Ms. Prophet?
Oh, gosh.
Not to put you on the spot.
You're asking the wrong one.
Okay.
I'll just attend.
Okay, that sounds
You and
good.
me both, because I can't pick them either.
I'll bring the pies.
Let's go.
But our job, Jana's job, City Council's job, Tourism Commission's job is to provide opportunity and build amenities for the city of Elizabethtown that'll attract people here, that'll cause them to come here and spend money, and most importantly, so we can, especially those of us that have college-age kids, get our talent back here, have things to do in our region, for them to want to come back here and live. Because a lot of times, you all know, we lose these kids to bigger cities because that's where the amenities are. We want them to come back here. And so we're going to keep trying to build things that are enticing or enhance our community to try to keep our talent local. So any questions? We must have done a great job.
I mean, you must have done a great job.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you gonna manage the traffic noise from I-65?
So we're super lucky that there is, this site is a natural bowl. It was almost like it was custom designed for this type of venue. invested money in sound studies. Jeff and I didn't even know there was such a thing. I didn't know what a decibel was. I didn't know what ambient noise was. And so they spent a week during a high tourist season with all these sensors out on the property to determine what the sound needed to do to take care of any sound issues from the interstate. There's also berming that will be on site. When we do our cut and fill, we'll be berming. But they gave us the opportunity to see what it would be like to hold a conversation with traffic going up and down the interstate. And it wasn't even a thing. What is a thing, which I am really looking forward to, and I know y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, is the railroad track, right? Because that's on the opposite side of Buffalo Lake. And so my dream is that if you're at a concert and a train goes by, it's good luck, you cheers your neighbor, and it's $1 off beers or something like that. Because that's gonna happen, because that rail line is not there's no schedule, right? And so it's also really difficult to know in future years what that schedule will look like. We have talked to production managers, we've talked to talent, we've talked to people I'm like, what's gonna happen if that train goes by and the artist on the stage hears it? And they're like, you tell that artist what might happen and you've got yourself a great artist to perform in your venue. So that is our story on sound. We also held a community, like a town hall meeting in the neighborhood and invited all the people that live close to the venue to visit with us and to share their concerns. We addressed traffic, we addressed sound, we addressed everything, and all of them were so super supportive. They were curious about job opportunities at the venue, and they were really excited about the free concerts they're gonna get. So, what else? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. What about wheelchair accessibility, mobility issues and I know you've covered it, but would you address that?
Absolutely. So everything is ADA accessible. There is not a single place in that venue that would not accommodate. There's from parking to ramps to seats to every level of ticket price, everything has been addressed. And not only is it the law, we are super, super careful in what we do with all of our accessible attributes to the venues that just like the sports park. Yes, ma'am. Great question.
Who else?
There's a lot of railroad songs, so you just tell the band to start
I
playing
know.
the train.
Well, I've tried to kind of work it into the name, and I haven't really been successful. But don't doubt me. We're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be great. I think it's just a unique opportunity to increase the reputation. Like, I hope it happens on the very first show so we can start talking about it. Yeah.
There's some good ones.
Yeah.
How soon will you have job opportunities showing out? Because I do have a college graduate that's going into like music business. And so I would love for her to come back, but she's always looking for bigger cities.
So I will tell you what I know. We will outsource the management of the venue, similar to how we outsource the management of the sports park. And that is because I'm not a specialist there. We'll have a contract with that operator. We will administer that contract, but they will hire people, and whether they're in market or from out of market, that know what they're doing with this type of venue. I had 12 months for the very first people, 6 months prior to opening for a whole lot of more people.
Okay. So,
That's really the best I can do right now.
okay, thank you.
And watch our socials. I mean, tourism has a Facebook page. We are always sharing information, Instagram. Just touritown.com. There's a link there to the venue page where you can see renderings and read more about it. It seems early to be showing that type of stuff, but we just can't help ourselves. We just need to get it out there. Yes, sir.
Will there be another roundabout out there?
Yeah. Well, so you want me to tell him that all the roundabouts are approved by the judge executive? I mean, that's what I heard it right here at this table tonight.
You better run. I think we're about out of time, but if there's anything else that you all need,
from us or any questions you have that we have not talked about tonight, anything you think of later, please call us because we love to talk about this project and we could probably stand up here all night long, but it's a beautiful night and y'all need to go.
Okay, Jana and Jeff, thank you all very much. Jeff, we asked your father-in-law to introduce you, but he told us he couldn't think of anything good to say. All jokes aside, over the last several years, as someone who has been in this community or here in Hardin County for pretty much my entire life, I think one of the things that the city has done exceptionally well under Jeff's leadership has been the improvements in the parks and recreational facilities. It's just phenomenal, some of the stuff that we have going for us in this community in terms of the amenities that are available, the trails that we have, just a lot of really good stuff that we have around here that most communities don't have. And let's just make sure that we don't take that for granted. Again, I'd also like to thank Mallory for coming down. Very sorry for some of the technical difficulties. I know Sarah Fellows is wearing that tonight. It is not her fault. Thank you for all your efforts, Sarah. Valerie, thank you for hanging in there with us. All of you Youth Tour folks, thank you for being here. We're so proud of you all. What a great representation of our communities you are, whether that's here in Elizabethtown, from the north end of the county, Radcliffe, Vine Grove, Colesburg, LaRue County. LaRue County and Hardin County are the two predominant aspects of our service territory. And whether you're from Hodgenville or you're from E-Town or you're from anywhere else, we are exceptionally proud of all of our young people, and it's so nice to get to see the things that they're able to do and what bright futures they have ahead of them. I think sometimes we lose sight of what a culturally diverse area we are in, and what a blessing it is to have all of the things going for us that we do here in Hardin and LaRue County. Fort Knox is certainly a big part of that as well, and probably adds to that cultural diversity. You know, there are a lot of very interesting historical figures from this area. One of our greatest presidents is from this area. There's all kinds of talented artists and musicians from here. Lots of famous professional baseball players, football players, really high-level basketball players. There's even somebody who started in a Daytona 500 from our service territory. So just all kinds of cool stuff when you really start digging into the people that we have in our communities. Thank you all so much for coming this evening. I think that my last order of business is to tell you all that the person who has the sticker on the bottom of their notepad gets to take the chrysanthemum home. All right? And also take the Touchstone Energy reusable storage bag home. And you should have your loaf of bread already. Enjoy it. If you don't have it, get it on the way out of Dismas Profit. Hang on, we got an important announcement, everyone.
I wasn't sure, so you'd ask me what that means. How many of you have your statement on Roundup? Roundup.
Do you have your statement that says round my bill up? And it's usually 10 cents or a quarter. But we've been able to give $200 to, I've forgotten how many teachers. And we're just doing well with that. And there are cards in the back. Please sign that up. Instead of it being $2.95, it'll just be a nickel. But you know, it adds up, and we've been able to give that back to the community.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Prophet. It's a great program and a great service that we're able to offer in the community.
That's what they say about me.
All right, Gino, are you wanting to talk now? Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody. You all have a lovely evening, okay?
Thank you for joining us for Wire to Wire with Nolan RECC.